Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with John Cullen. And what we're going to talk about, besides his journey in real estate and business, we're going to talk about personal growth and why it's a passion and why it's so important to him and why it should be important to you as well. Remember, guys, here at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business. You know, we do that by providing the tools and resources to help grow that business, which in turn helps live the life you want to live. So, John, man, welcome to our show.
Hey, John, thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm super excited to talk with you a little bit more. I know we had some conversation offline, but you know, personal growth for me is a very, very important part as well. But before we talk about all that, let's talk about you. You know, give our audience a little background on you and your business, how you get into real estate, etc.
Yeah, well, I started out, I actually worked in the medical field for 23 years before I jumped into real estate. And there was a point in time during my medical career that I really wanted to get out of that. I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. So one of the things I thought I would do is open a bar, which
okay.
Yeah, that was something that really actually thoroughly embedded in me, that I wanted to do real estate. And the reason is because I had some real estate experiences with the leases that was not favorable to me. So I thought to myself, you know, I want to be on the other side of this deal. I'm not going to be on the leasing side anymore. I want to be the guy that owns the building that leases to business owners. And after that experience, I just swore that I'd never be on that side of the fence again. And so I jumped over to the dark side some years later. So around 2016, I sold the bar and got, recouped some of my investment. Went back to work in the hospital. And around 2020, I think it was, is when I really started to kind of, dig deep and go to the YouTube channels like most people do and start to learn a little bit about real estate. And, I think that probably around 2022 is when I did my first deal. So I haven't been doing this that long. Fortunately for me, I've had some really good mentors that have helped push me along and kind of shown me the way. But that's kind of how I got into it. And let's see, it was, I think, March of 2023 when I finally decided to retire and go into real estate full time. And fortunately, I have a very supportive wife who was all for it. And she said, yeah, go for it. And so here I am.
I love it. Okay, so let's go back. If you watch any of my podcasts, I always go backwards. Before we had the whole lease thing, right? If you mentioned that to be your kind of entryway into real estate, Was there anybody in the past, any influences, any people in your family, good friends, anybody in real estate that might have planted that subliminal seed, or that?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Knowledge back in the day?
Yeah, it was the bank in the form of a foreclosure in 2009.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah. So I got my house was foreclosed on, and again, that was something that planted the seed. And I thought to myself, man, I see all these people. Like, I see the signs on the road. Hey, we buy your house for cash. Like, where's everybody getting all this cash in a recession? And that's what really planted the seed right there. And I had always thought about that, and I thought, well, first things first, I have to become an agent, which I never did, and I'm not. But I thought that was kind of the route. I thought that's how you had to do it. So. Again, back then I was in my medical career, so the thought was fleeting. It was there, but it was fleeting.
Sure. Now, this whole time, like, were you doing any type of? I mean, at what point did you start that YouTube U type of process?
Yeah, sure. Like around 2020, it was during COVID.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you have any? I mean, did you look up mentorship? Did you look up, a coach?
My wife and I were renting a place, and about that time, our lease was up, and I said, hey, we should buy a house. And she said, okay. So I called a real estate agent who I knew, and I said, hey, my wife and I want to buy a house. He said, okay, fine. He showed me a house the very next day, and it just so happens that this house was from a wholesaler friend of his. And we ended up buying the house. Well, I looked up the information on the county website, to see who owned it before, because I knew that this guy was an investor / wholesaler, and I thought, hey, let me call this guy and see if he can help me out and kind of direct me. So I did. I called him. He was really cool, and he talked to me about it, and he said, if you really want to get serious about it, you got to find a good mentor. And I said, okay, do you got any suggestions? He said, yeah. I'm part of a group called Advisors Council with Lee Kearney, and he said, you should join that group. And I said, okay, great. How much is it? And he said, it's $25,000 a year. I said, yeah, that's not happening. Not right now.
A little too new for that right now.
Yeah. So eventually, though, I did eventually join that group. I did take the plunge and join it. And that was the main mentorship that really gave me the push for what I needed and the kick in the butt to get going. So that's kind of how
Why
that
was
started.
it so important? Why was it so important for you to have a mentor versus just continue down the YouTube U track?
Well, YouTube's great for the beginning, but if you really want to get into business and start doing things, you really need people who know what they're doing to be able to guide you, because YouTube will tell you, they'll tell you what, they'll tell you when, they'll tell you where, but they won't tell you how. They save all that for the paid programs. And so you can get to a certain degree, but a lot of the big gurus, they'll tell you, I should say YouTube gurus, they'll tell you, hey, let me show you how to do this with no money, and let me show you how to do this with no experience. And that's all great, and you can. It's not that you can't. It's just it makes it much more difficult. If you've got somebody guiding you along the way, I mean, that's really, to me, is the fast track. You're paying to play by going into a mentorship. If you really are serious and you want to get involved, mentorship is the way to go. I mean, I'm still in a mentorship, and I'll never not be.
Right. Yeah, and it's, we can all get there. It's a matter of how fast do you want to get there and how much money do you want to spend to get there versus maybe making a investment to shorten that time.
Yeah, 100%.
So what with this coaching program, was it to flip houses? Was it to wholesale houses? What kind of coaching was it?
So Advisors Council was mostly directed towards wholesaling. However, there was mentorship to help guide you with flipping and other forms of real estate investment. There was a lot of different people in the group, guys from.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Different areas of the United States with different skill sets. And so with that, there was a pretty complete circle of people there at the table when we would go to the meetings and we'd have the phone calls. So it was a really great group of guys that offered a lot of experience in all different facets of real estate, but mostly the majority of it was focused on wholesaling.
Okay. And as you started wholesaling, as you started building this business, what to you were some of the struggles, or what were some of the challenges, when you got going, got up and running?
Yeah, I think it's just deal flow, man, trying to figure out how do I reach people with myself never doing a deal. How do I go into this with confidence and convince somebody to sign this contract? And so I think that was probably the biggest challenge and the biggest fear factor for me was, going there and saying to myself, okay, well, if I go and I talk to these people, it's the imposter syndrome. It's like, I'm going here telling these people that I'm going to do this deal for them, and I've never done a deal before. So the imposter syndrome kicks in pretty hard at that moment. But I'll never forget when I did my first deal, I had such an adrenaline rush that it solidified to me that, oh man, you can really do this. And my first
proof
deal,
of concept.
Yeah, proof of concept, absolutely. And when I went back to my mentor, Lee Kearney, and I said, hey man, I've got this deal. I want you to help me look at it and tell me if you think this is really a deal. So he looked it over and he said, yeah, man, you got a banger here. He goes, how did you get this one? So I told him how I got it. And after everything was said and done and everything was closed, my first wholesale deal, I made like 68 grand in my first deal. And yeah, so for me, I
made $2,500, man.
Right. So for me, I didn't understand the significance of that. And after I brought that back to Lee and I told him what I did, he was like, how do you feel about that? And I'm like, feels good. I didn't know because I didn't understand that the average wholesale deal was somewhere around, $17,000 or something. And so the more deals I did after that, I realized I was like, wow, that was a really good deal. I need to find some more of those.
Exactly. So did you just put all that money right back into marketing, right back into your team?
I did.
Yeah.
I paid off some bills, and then I did a little bit of work to my own house that needed to get done. So I did both. But I learned very quickly that money doesn't last. You got to roll that back into more marketing and for sure. You can't spend it. You got to roll it right back in.
No, it's very much as you're only as good as your last transaction, especially with wholesaling. So what does the team look like now? Like, what markets are you in? What does that business look like?
Yeah, so I'm in the Florida market, primarily in the Tampa Bay area. I love to work in my own backyard. I'm a firm believer that if you're working in your own backyard, you know the area. There's truly enough deals in my own area to go around for everybody. But I do work the whole state of Florida. If there's a deal in Jacksonville or anywhere really, I'll work the deal as long as it makes sense. I also work now, just expanded recently into Ohio, and I think we're going to expand into Virginia here pretty soon too.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, and what are you doing for your lead gen?
So I've got a couple of cold callers that we use that are VAs out of Egypt, and I've been through quite a few cold callers, quite a few VAs. It takes a little while to get some good ones. It's just a numbers game, just like the marketing. You just got to go through it until you find the right ones that are doing the job that you want them to do.
Right. Are you doing any other type of channels like text or TV or radio or anything like that?
Yeah, not a little bit of text and no TV, no radio. I get a lot of word of mouth, and so social media works great for me.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I've got a program where I offer people a minimum of $1,000 for any type of lead generation. So if they know a friend or family member who wants to sell, if I close that deal, I pay them at least $1,000, and that works out pretty good. Yeah, I love paying people money, and they love it, of course. So once they get that check, then that makes them feel good, and they want to keep doing it. So I've got a couple of people that have sent me multiple deals, and it works out great. I love writing them checks.
You know what? That's how I got my biggest wholesale deal. It was 65 grand, I think it was. Yeah, it was from a guy who didn't want to sell. He said, "Hey, buy the neighbor's house." I said, "Okay, if I do it, I'll give you $1,000."
Mm-hmm.
I walked up with $100 bills, and I said, "Here you go, man."
Yeah.
It was a couple of years ago. He was pretty stoked. So yeah, I love that. So, where do you see your business going? Like, what are your goals? Are you looking to expand more, growth? I mean, what does that all look like for you?
Yeah, definitely. I want to keep doing wholesaling and flipping because that's primarily what I do. But with the market shifting where I'm at, and we're in a downward trajectory, it seems like the market is softening. And with that being said, I would like to now be into buy and hold properties. And so I'm currently looking to begin doing that very, very soon. I don't believe that. I do believe that you can work in wholesaling and flipping and continue to do that as long as you're buying right. I don't think that the deals will ever dry up. You just have to buy them right to make money. But at the same time, I really feel like it's, for me personally, I don't want to just continue to wholesale and flip. I want to start accumulating properties and accumulating wealth, especially if I can. I mean, there's no reason not to if the market is telling me that the prices are right and that I'm able to get these leads at like below wholesale prices. Why would you not keep some of those,
Yeah, no, and that same kind of sentiment at our last mastermind, a lot of guys were talking about now is trying to hold stuff. And, we have a program where you get 100% funding. So it's like these guys are just jumping on to take advantage of it because, like you just said, the market is saying, hey, this might be a better time to buy it and hold it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what are you like seeing trends wise? Like, are you seeing any trends in wholesaling or anything like that now outside of the buy and hold type of thing?
Yeah, I'm seeing that the prices that flippers are paying are lowering, and so again, we have to buy lower. So the purchase, the profit is made in the purchase. It's not made in the sale, and so you absolutely have to buy these deals right. And if you do, you will make money. But I have a dispo process that was taught to me, and it works really well for me. And so my typical, what you would consider wholesale fees are probably higher than what the average is. And I think it's because my target buyers are landlords. I don't really target flippers. I want to target somebody who either A, wants to buy the property and fix it up and live in it, or B, who wants to buy the property, fix it up, and rent it, because those are the people that are going to pay me the highest money.
Sure, because they're basing it off of cash flow, not immediate return. How are you finding these landlord buyers versus flipper buyers?
So every single property that I get under contract, well, I shouldn't say every single one, the majority of them, I list them on the MLS. And if you list them on the MLS, you have just literally marketed to everybody. you don't have to call people and tell them, hey, I got this deal, and do you want to look at it, and send the buyers and all that. I know wholesalers do. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't. I would rather list it and have the buyers come to me instead of me chasing them down. I'm not about chasing people. So
are you basically doing an innovation?
I guess you could call it that. Yeah, sure. So sometimes, like, I'll give you an example. I've got a property now that I'm actually going to be closing on and buying it because the seller had a bad experience with not only one, but two wholesalers. And there was two memos on this property, and I had to call them and negotiate them down. And so the reason I'm buying this one is because I already know that the seller has this bad experience with wholesalers, so I don't want to give her that same business model. So I'm literally just going to buy it outright, hire somebody to do a trash out, clean it all out. There's a bunch of garbage in there, so I'm going to get them to clean it all out, and then I'm literally just going to list it on the MLS.
Yeah.
So I guess you could, it's like a hotel, or I guess you could call it innovation. However you want to word it, doesn't matter to me. It's just at the end of the day,
get it and sell it.
I don't really care what you call it, man. Let's just get it. Let's put it on the market and sell it, and give me the money.
Call it a box I sold, whatever you want to call it. Who cares?
People got all these names for it. I just say it's buying and selling.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about, before we run out of time here, talk a little bit about our topic, which was personal growth. Sure. For me, it's something that's important. It's the the affirmations, it's the reading, it's the the reflection time, all these different things. But what does personal growth mean for you?
Action. Massive, imperfect action, baby. Like, you got to do something about it. You cannot just read this stuff and affirmations and reading and doing all the things is great, but those are feel-good things. If you really want to grow, you got to get out and you got to feel it. You got to feel the pain, and you got to be able to go through the motions necessary in order to get to the next level. And the only way to do that is just taking action and getting over things like procrastination. I used to be one of those people who would procrastinate so bad, and what do they call it? Analysis paralysis. So,
analysis paralysis.
I would say to myself, oh, well, I'm a researcher. I want to make sure everything is perfect, and I want to make sure everything is right. And that is, I learned very quickly, that is wrong. Doesn't matter. Like, go out and do it. That's how you're going to figure out if it's right or not, by going out and doing it.
Right. Yeah. Right. 100%. You and I mentioned a mutual friend in Tom Kroll and his coaching and stuff. So do you have a coaching program that you offer to people to help them learn the business?
I am working on that right now. However, it is not going to be for real estate. It is more or less going to be for mindset, personal growth, for business, for life. And, it's not going to have, it's not that you can apply it to real estate, and I'm sure there'll be some real estate investors in there. But it's not going to be geared towards real estate.
Okay. Kind of more like a life coach type of situation?
I hate that word, man. I hate that word, life coach.
Well, I hate it too, but it's just, it's like, because, there's too much stuff within life to say I'm going to coach life.
Yeah. Yeah. So my main focus is going to be men only. I just only want to work with men that have been in my shoes where I've been, and I like most people, like, I'm nobody special. Everybody has their share of problems, but I have overcome some things that I feel like are valuable for other people, for me to teach them. And so it has to do with things like family life, men maybe going through a divorce, men maybe that have lost their job, men that have lost their way, that have lost their masculinity, so to speak, and men that are searching for answers like I was. And I just think that there's a need for that right now. I know everybody has something that they need to deal with and something that they need to work out. And again, I'm nobody special. I only have experience from the things that I have conquered and the things that I will conquer. And a huge part of that is mindset and understanding that you can do it. And so my job is to build confidence in people, show them how to do it, show them that they can do it, and give them permission to do it.
I love that. If folks that are listening on here want to talk to you about maybe doing deals in Tampa together, or maybe talk about your coaching, how is the best way to get in touch with you?
Well, if it's real estate related, they can go to my website, which is, I'll say it and then I'll spell it. It's MrSunHomebuyers.com, and it's spelled MRSUN homebuyers.com. And my phone number is 727-308-8485.
Awesome. Guys, I hope you took some good notes today. John, thank you so much for coming on here, sharing your knowledge. Reach out to him. We'll put all your contact information in the show notes down below. And, just thank you again, man. It was a very good conversation, and I enjoyed having you on here today.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you having me.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.